Well, the Boy Scouts of America this week voted to allow openly gay youth members to join the organization. It was a historic move for the 103-year-old organization that is often affiliated with church groups. 60% of the 1,400-member National Council voted to approve this change. It's going to take effect on January 1st. And as you can imagine, there are strong feelings on both fronts. So joining me now are two of those voices. John Stemberger, he's founder of onmyhonor.net and president of the Florida Family Policy Council, and Zach Walls is author of My Two Moms and the founder of Boy Scouts for Equality. Thank you both for joining us this Saturday.
Absolutely.
John, I want to start with you. You have referred to this, and you've said this, being the Boy Scouts, is the most influential youth program in America, and you've also said that it is turning a, quote, tragic corner. You've said this will, quote, destroy scouting as we know it. Why?
Well, anytime you insert sex and politics into a youth program, it always makes it a risky proposition for parents. You know, the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts disassociated with the Girl Scouts years ago because they allowed open lesbianism. They now promote Planned Parenthood and reproductive freedom in their curriculum. They had an Explore Your Body camp that was very controversial. They pulled it back. It's just inappropriate. Currently, scouting does not discriminate against gays under this policy. It doesn't allow open homosexuality. Mm-hmm. When you have that, it flaunts sexuality. It puts it. Scouting has no business. It's about camping. It's about swimming. It's about canoeing. And to inject sexuality and politics into the veins of scouting, it just is not right. Parents are not going to like that, and they're going to take their kids out. I am pulling my two kids out of scouting, very sadly and very disappointingly, because of this decision.
You think
whenever the BSA is going to put the interest of gay rights activists over that of the safety and security of my two sons, that's a proposition that I can no longer support as a parent.
You think that this outweighs all the other benefits of scouting?
Look, this is going to transform the program. Within 2 years, the 17-year-old boy who turns 18 will become a plaintiff in a suit. You'll have homosexuality throughout the entire program, not just young people, but adults too. Guarantee within 2 years, you mark my words, it'll happen within 2 years.
I want to bring Zach in here. Zach, I'd like your response to that, and then I'd also like you to tell me what happened when you heard the news. I know you were with a 19-year-old friend of yours who made a bold move. Tell us.
Yeah, you know, Poppy, I think it's interesting. I think John and I actually agree about a lot more of this than people might expect. I think we both agree that scouting is absolutely one of the preeminent youth development organizations for young men. It's absolutely about camping and personal management skills and great family values. I think the disagreement comes from the fact that we really just disagree about what's actually going to change. When we found out that the ban was being lifted, a good friend of mine was able to finally call his counselor, who had a counsel back in his home troop in Wisconsin, and have a conversation with him about who he actually was. Everybody kind of knew, but he was still being forced to stay in the closet and lie about the fact that he was gay. And the fact that he was no longer forced to do that was something really special to watch. I was sitting there and I got to see firsthand the impact when a young man named Pascal from the Washington, D.C. area realized that tomorrow was not going to be his last day in the Boy Scouts, that he's actually going to be able to get his Eagle Scout. It's not, going to change anything for the other kids in his troop. All that means is that they're going to have another great Eagle Scout in their ranks who can be in a leadership role, can help support the troop and everything that they do.
So at this point, even after this vote, the Boy Scouts will maintain the ban on openly gay adult leaders. There was not a vote on that. John, to you, so the first rule of Boy Scouting is that a scout should be trustworthy. If adult scouts who are gay are not allowed to be openly so, if they're not to openly talk about it, bring it into scouting, as you said, are they breaking that first rule?
No. Look, for a person that has a same-sex attraction to be discreet and appropriate and not loud and proud the way most things that are gay in America are, that is appropriate.
Well,
that happens right now. It's not dishonest to be appropriate in front of kids, and to allow open gayness allows sexuality to be flaunted. It's inappropriate for kids. I don't want my child, one of my sons understands homosexuality, the other one doesn't. And it's for me as a parent to determine when that happens. And I don't want my kid being introduced to sexuality of any type around a campfire by an older boy instead of by me as a parent. That's the problem with this policy, is it injects sex right into the veins of the Boy Scouts of America.
So Poppy, both of my moms were in my scouting experience when I was a young kid in the Tiger Cub program. My mom, Jackie, was a den mother and my mom, Terry, was the interim Cub Master for a while, and they were both present at meetings together. They didn't have to lie about who they were. If somebody asked, who is that, she wasn't going to say, oh, it's my friend. She's going to say, oh, that's my partner, Terry, or my partner, Jackie. And so even though John is trying to scare people and say, oh, this is going to radically transform scouting, it really isn't so. The reality, of course, is that most of America's other major youth development organizations, whether it's the Girl Scouts or 4-H, which is a massive organization, they have no problem with this kind of thing, and they've been accepting young gay people and gay adult leaders for a very long time.
I want to get to one more thing, and John, you're speaking your mind. I don't know that you're trying to scare people or not, but you can respond to Zach saying that, but I do want to get to this issue, John, and that you have said that the Boy Scouts officials didn't provide, quote, honest information, and you said that they, quote, hid information from the delegates prior to this vote. Can you explain that for our viewers, what your basis is on that and what you know? Thank you.
Absolutely. All the messaging in this thing was completely controlled. There was never a debate. There was never a panel discussion. There was no legal opinion given to the delegates. There was no analysis on the risk to the young people about boy-on-boy sexual contact. All of that was put under the rug. It was completely guided. Matter of fact, my folks, we had a full-page ad in the Dallas Morning News. We tried to distribute that ad, and my Scoutmasters were put to the door of the hotel by 2 security guys with the BSA officials saying, no, you can't distribute that. So no literature, no dissenting viewpoints were presented. And that is just wrong. Even though delegates spoke with dissenting viewpoints, it wasn't for and against. It was just this blob of people coming out, and mostly for the proposal, not against. So it's very disappointing the way they went about doing this.
We are running out of time. I want a very quick up or down from both of you on this. A lot of talk about what this is going to do to membership. When you look at the numbers, membership of the Boy Scouts is down about 20% since 1999. Zach, to you first, then John. Does this increase or decrease membership, or do neither?
Well, I think that we'll certainly see some folks like John walk away from the program, and we're not excited about that. We want Boy Scouting to be available to every young man, but I think we'll start to really see the rebound once we have full inclusion in scouting.
And John?
Scouting's own estimates is that between 200,000 to 400,000 boys will leave the program. That doesn't even include adults, parents, Scoutmasters, charting partners. This is going to devastate the program financially, legally, and socially when the heart and soul of the human capital just leaves. It's a very sad day for the Boy Scouts of America, and we mourn this day. It's a very sad thing for America, frankly.
I appreciate both of your time, and the Boy Scouts announcement coming out with this saying, quote, while people have different opinions about this policy, we can all agree that kids are better off when they are in scouting. This debate will certainly continue. Appreciate you both coming on with both of your perspectives and having this conversation for us today. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Poppy.
All right. Well